Good evening and welcome to the Seth Joyner Show. The Eagles continue to stack wins in spite of their uneven play. The defense and offense seem to be taking turns dominating games. The defense shut down a prolific Miami Dolphins offense in Week 8, and versus Washington, the offense behind Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and the best O-line in the NFL put on a record-setting passing display to be remembered. It's time for my breakdown. After a Chiefs loss versus the Bengals, the Eagles now hold the distinction of the team with the best record in the National Football League at 7-1. The 49ers lost their third in a row, also giving the Birds the best record in the conference. Going into Week 8, you just know that any game versus a divisional opponent is going to be tough. After battling the Commanders at the Linc in Week 4 and coming out on top of a 31-34 win in overtime, the hope was that Game 2 would be a bit easier, but it was not to be. The Commanders came out firing, scoring 2 TDs and a field goal on their first 5 possessions. As formidable as the defense looked last week, they looked equally as inept this past week against Washington. Sam Howell again was precision-like in dissecting the Eagles secondary, especially in the first half. Although the Commanders didn't really commit to the run, they still averaged about 6.3 yards per carry in the first half. Sam was 24 for 26 for 226 yards and 2 touchdowns while carrying his team to an uncomfortable, for the Eagles that is, 17-10 halftime lead. But the second half featured potentially the most potent quarterback-wide receiver duo in the NFL. Jalen Hurts enjoyed probably his best passing performance of his young career, 29 for 38, 319 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, and a lofty 135 rating. Brown caught all 8 of his targets for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns, setting an NFL record with 6 consecutive games with 125 yards or more receiving, while the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, got on track, catching all 7 of his targets for 99 yards and a touchdown. Hurts was limited in the run game due to his knee injury. The run game seemed to be an afterthought in the game plan given the fact that they only handed the ball off to the running backs 3 times in the entire first half. Because the passing attack was so on point and so prolific, they were able to not only get away with totally disregarding the run, but they overcame 2 goal line turnovers, a fumble by Kenneth Gainwell and Jalen Hurts that cost them potentially 14 points. I'm in the camp of Jalen Hurts being an operational quarterback from the pocket and only using his legs when necessary. While the knee issue will limit his running and scrambling, I don't mind because I believe that he will be a better quarterback long term when it's all said and done. He will become more proficient at operating and manipulating the pocket, knowing that he's limited by the knee injury. The defense seemed to be trending in a positive direction of dominance leading to this game. But Sunday, in my opinion, was a step backwards for the Eagles defense. It looked like Sean Desai implemented the same exact game plan as in Week 4. Cornerbacks off, zone coverages that made Sam Howell more comfortable than stressed. The back end, as well as the linebackers, seemed lost and confused in coverages at times. The middle of the field became an issue once again. The linebackers and safeties struggled in zone coverage to locate receivers. The one area that the Eagles have to get better at is either implementing some zone match concepts or do a better job of just pattern reading the routes. Why Desai was so much more passive in this game than the Miami game is beyond me. The pass rush was average at best most of the day. If the cornerbacks and the safeties and linebackers are going to play off, substantially off, it's impossible for the rush to get home. Desai had to know after giving up 6 sacks the previous week to the New York Giants that the game plan would be to get the ball out of Sam Howell's hand quickly. Another passively called game led to another stressful Sunday. I'll continue to give the team and this coaching staff credit for finding multiple ways to win games. These experiences will help down the road, having gone through the stress of having to make plays and having to get it done and knowing that you can get it done under pressure when it counts the most. This will serve them well in big games and the playoffs. I marvel at how this Birds team tempts fate each week and yet continues to come out on top to the tune of a 7-1 record. That's my breakdown. After a quick break, my ex-teammate Garry G. Cobb is here to chop up this big NFC East matchup. It's Cowboy Week.
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional-grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at RevXWealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
This segment is brought to you by Davis Honda of Burlington. Welcome back. Joining me now is former Lion, Eagle, Cowboy, and my teammate, my rookie mentor, G. Cobb. G, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Seth. It's always good to see you.
Likewise, my man, likewise. So let's jump into it. As a former player, tell me, what do you think of the level of play in the National Football League today? It looks as though the league has finally achieved that level of parity that they've been searching for.
Well, you're right in that everybody seems to have a chance. The quarterback position, of course, is one of the key spots that really has a great effect upon a team. But teams are able to win in different ways. Some teams are running the ball more. A lot of teams, of course, are relying on their quarterbacks. Defense is key, especially a team that can force turnovers. And you know how turnovers affects a game. So a team like the Eagles has been able to win all kind of different ways. And that's true. The team they're getting ready to face, the Cowboys, have a similar when they're able to win forcing turnovers, or they're able to win where the offense has a big game. The Eagles and the Cowboys, they do some things similarly. So it's going to be interesting. But the teams find different ways to win. Those are the teams that are the best teams in the league. And, of course, we're looking forward to seeing some of these teams battle each other.
There's no doubt about it, G. The Eagles are 7-1. Yet we are cutting them up and dicing them any way that we can. And they've tempted fate over the first 8 games of this season, yet they've come out on top better than any other team in the National Football League. What's your opinion of the team's success to this point?
Well, I think the big thing is they can win in different ways. They've had some games where you had DeAndre Swift with tremendous games running the football. That offensive line is taking over and dominating. They've had games where the defensive line has been dominant, where they've done a great job against the run. They are one of the top teams in the league versus the run. So that defensive line has been dominant, where you've had, the big guys in the middle, those youngsters have been able to come in and just take over a game, both dominating versus the run and then putting pressure on the passer. Where you've had Carter and Davis in there really standing strong. And then there have been other games where we know the guy that's on a run right now, A.J. Brown, has just been tremendous. And, of course, we can't say enough about Jalen Hurts and the way that he's played at times. So they've won in all these different methods. And that's the thing about the Eagles. They can beat you in these different ways, whether it be throwing for 300 yards. A.J. Brown, of course, on his run where he's been able, game after game, 125 yards through the air. So the fact that they've got these different strengths have made them very hard to beat, because you could beat them in one way where you're outplaying them, but another area of their team finds a way to step in and dominate. So that's the great thing about the Eagles. They can beat you both sides of the ball. Even the special teams has had a game where they played well. So that's why they've been one of the best teams in the league, is because they can beat you in so many different ways.
Now, Garry, you've been on both sides of this. This Eagles versus Cowboys matchup is the most heated rivalry in all the NFL, in my opinion. Both teams have talent, yet one team has gotten to the mountaintop just to fall a little bit short, while the other hasn't gotten close in well over 20 years. What separates these two talented teams right now?
Well, I think right now, the thing about the Cowboys is they really haven't been able to have the dominant running game and the passing game and the defense, where all of them were at the top tier. I think that, they seem to be close to it now. Dak Prescott, of course, has been one of the keys, and he hasn't played that well when it comes to big games. He hasn't played that well in the playoffs. They need him to play well. That means taking care of the football. That's the big thing. I think the last couple of years, they've gotten to the playoffs, and Dak hasn't played well. He's turned the ball over, and that's been a problem. Their running game has kind of been spotty, because, Ezekiel Elliott is not there anymore. The line has gotten old, and they haven't been as consistent. So now they really need Dak to throw the ball and be effective throwing the ball. They got to lean on him more. They don't really have that dominant passing game, but they do have a defense that's got a tremendous pass rush, and they've been forcing teams to turn the ball over. I know one of their corners is returned, I think, 3 or 4 interceptions for touchdowns. And even though they've had some injuries, their defense has been very opportunistic. And that's really the way they've been winning this year. So you play the Cowboys, you got to take care of the football, because they're going for it. And we know that Micah Parsons is a tremendous pass rusher, and all of them, they're punching the football out. They're going after the football. So that's going to be a key part of this game. The Eagles have got to make sure they take care of the football and don't turn it over.
G, listen, man, your time is always appreciated. Always great to talk some ball with you. Thanks for joining the show.
My pleasure, and good seeing you, and hopefully the Eagles prove me wrong.
There you go, man. All right, coming up next, Sean Brace fills in for Brad Feinberg to get you prepped for Week 9's fantasy and betting picks.
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for BetParx and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This is Seth Joyner, top analyst for the Birds. I've also analyzed the best auto dealerships, and I drive a Davis Honda.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda. Over 300 cars available. And right now, get rates as low as 0.9% at Davis Honda in Burlington. Plus, you'll get 2 years of free oil changes on every new and used Davis Honda vehicle. See why Davis Honda continues to win outstanding awards for sales and service, including the highest award from Honda, the President's Award. Get to Davis Honda in Burlington.
Fall into savings at Davis Honda.
Welcome to Bridgeview Partners, where IT and business innovation merge. We're not just another tech company. We're your strategic partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. Our team of experts tailors cutting-edge solutions to fit your unique needs, and ensuring your success is our top priority. Elevate your business with Bridgeview Partners. Discover the power of partnership and tech innovation today. Contact us now to experience the difference. Bridgeview Partners, where innovation meets excellence.
JP Mascaro & Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the Birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done.
This segment is brought to you by Bet Parks. Welcome back. For my fantasy and betting crowd, follow my next guest, Sean Brace, at foxphlgambler.com or at Sean Brace on Twitter. Sean, it's been a while, man. It's a pleasure to see you.
Yes, sir. But you know, it's funny. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Eagles are on top of the NFL. All is well in this city.
There you go, man. It's always a good thing. All right, so on the fantasy side, let's talk about what players and defenses you're feeling for this Week 9 matchups.
Week number 9, here we go, Seth. Quarterback, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson. The Ravens have been playing well and now have won 3 straight. They return home versus the Seahawks, who just gave up 20 points to P.J. Walker last week. Jackson has been delivering, top 3 quarterback, top 4 player outright. As far as number of points per game, I think 19.8 per week. Back at home, last time they played at home, they lumped up the Detroit Lions. Give me Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position. Running back, I'm going to Bijan Robinson. The Falcons got embarrassed by the Titans on the road last week, and now they take on a rookie quarterback with the Minnesota Vikings and Jaron Hill. Bijan finally got a taste of the end zone running the football last week. He's the best weapon they have. Smarten up, Arthur. Give him the ball. And over to the wide receiver position, Tyreek Hill. Revenge game, Seth. That's all you have to say about this one. 6+ years with the Kansas City Chiefs. I like a big game for Tyreek Hill. And, oh, by the way, you got to have Tyreek or A.J. Brown as far as fantasy is concerned with the wide receiver position. And finally, over to the defense, I got to look at the Saints. Don't overthink it. They're at home in the Dome taking on Bajan and the Chicago Bears. I think he's in for a world of hurt. I like the Saints to limit the Bears to 1 touchdown this weekend.
Love it, Sean. Okay, so what players on the defense and the offensive, what players and defenses are you fading for Week 9?
All right, well, again, I think the Dolphins are going to come out on top. More on that in just a second. So I'm going to fade Mahomes. I think something doesn't seem right now with that offense. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they can't win the Super Bowl, but this week against the Dolphins, I'm going to stay away from Mahomes for the price that it takes to have him at the starting quarterback position. Over to the running back, I'm going to look at DeAndre Swift, 16 carries for 57 yards, 15 carries for 62 yards. You know, Seth, these are the 2 things that are hurting the Eagles. They're not running the football well right now, so I'm going to avoid DeAndre Swift this weekend versus the boys. Over to the wide receiver position, DeAndre Hopkins. He had 3 touchdowns, his first touchdown with the Titans, but this week they're on the road, Thursday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Will Levis, he doesn't know what he's in for. This is his welcome to the NFL moment on Thursday night in Pittsburgh. And finally, The Jets defense, they've been really good, especially last week against the New York Giants and at home in the second half. This week they're taking on the Chargers. I like the Chargers to keep the momentum going that they just stirred up this past week at home. Monday Night Football, I like the Chargers to put it on the Jets this week, so stay away from all things Jets on the defensive side of the ball.
Got you, Sean. So on the betting front, give me your top 4 picks for this week 9 of this highly unpredictable season.
All right, first things first. If this game was being played in Kansas City, I'm going to take the Chiefs, but it's not. It's in Germany. Miami has to find a way to win a game against an opponent like this. I think Miami does it this weekend in Germany. I like a high-scoring affair, but give me the Dolphins to come out on top plus 2.5. Next game up, I just talked about the Falcons and Bijan Robinson. They're 5-point favorites at home. They were just embarrassed to the Titans. I think it's a step up to Taylor Heineke from Desmond Ridder. I'll take the Falcons at home, given 5 points. And finally, 2 totals for you, Seth. And this is all I'm going to say. Where are the points coming from? First up, Saints and Bears. Bears are atrocious. I don't have any confidence in Derek Carr and the wide receiver core that he has as well. So give me the under in Saints and Bears. That's at 141.5. And finally, the Packers and the Rams. The game is being played in Lambeau. Green Bay might be the biggest disappointment this season. I thought Matt LaFleur was a good offensive mind. He doesn't have it going right now with Jordan Love. So where are the points coming from? Plus Brett Rippon, possibly for Matthew Stafford. Keep your eye on that. Give me the under 40 on that one. Those are my 4 plays this week.
Sean, it's always great to have you on, man. It's been too long. Thanks for your insights today.
Anytime, Seth. Always great to catch up, sir.
Coming up, my closing thoughts and predictions for this pivotal NFC East Cowboys versus Eagles matchup. It's gonna be all-out war. JP Mascaro & Sons is a family-owned, locally operated solid waste service company in business for over 60 years. You've seen the red trucks with the blue elephant that symbolizes strength and reliability. Mascaro is different than other national brands. Like the birds, Philadelphia is home. They'll take care of all your waste removal needs. They have it all: an experienced workforce, state-of-the-art equipment, a cutting-edge recycling center, and their own disposal facilities. Call 888-MASCARO or visit jpmascaro.com.
At Mandrecchia Law, we win big personal injury cases, but we always tell our clients up front that those cases almost always hinge on how much insurance coverage people or companies have. At Mandrecchia Law, we don't sell insurance, but we're experts at helping our clients make sure they have the right insurance to protect their businesses and families. Do you have the right insurance? Most people don't. For a consultation, visit mmattorneys.com or call 610-584-0700. Mandrecchia Law, aggressive attorneys who get the job done. At Revolution X, we know that fortunes are made in times of uncertainty. Are you selling your investment real estate? Are you interested in deferring your tax with a 1031 exchange? At RevX, we're experts in 1031 exchange planning and the use of passive real estate options using DSTs. Not in the midst of an exchange and want to invest in real estate but don't know where to start? Revolution X has institutional grade real estate options for any size investor right now. Set up a consultation at revxwealth.com. RevX, defer the tax, maximize the gain.
If you understand that success is built on trusted relationships and dependable performance, Mid-Penn Bank is the right bank for you. We're on a mission to prove that the right bankers can make a big difference. We work harder, we get things done, and we're in your corner. With financial centers strategically located throughout the greater Philadelphia region and new locations in central New Jersey, we're ready to bring you the best in commercial and personal banking. Call or visit us today to connect with a professional Mid-Penn banker. Member FDIC. Go Eagles!
When you open the BetParx app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. BetParx.
This segment is brought to you by Bridgeview Partners. Welcome back. This is the game that I've been waiting for all year. The hate for the Cowboys is palpable, but the way the Cowboys have played the last 2 weeks indicates that this game will be the Birds' stiffest test to date. After the 49ers drubbed them a couple of weeks ago, they've recovered with well-balanced back-to-back wins versus the Chargers and the Rams. The Cowboys' defense feeds off of turnovers, pick sixes, fumbles, and setting up the offense on a short field, etc. The Eagles need to fix their turnover issues versus the Cowboys. Fumbles, INTs, that all needs to cease now. This is another one of those games I'd like to see the Eagles dominate from the trenches and the time of possession. This is not a team to get into a shootout with. Not because the Eagles can't, but because divisional games are usually decided at the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys' strengths is their defensive line and Dan Quinn's blitz packages. They're not as good versus the run statistically as they are versus the pass because of their pass rush. So it'll be interesting to see what Nick Sirianni and Brian Johnson's game plan will be. The aim for this game should be a 7 to 8 possession game, much like the Miami Dolphin game. The Dallas secondary loves to play hero ball and take chances to make big plays. This should be a focal point, big time for Jalen Hurts, Brown, and Smith. Double moves will create big plays in my opinion, but let's slow down the pass rush early by at least attempting to establish some semblance of a run game and maybe even some play action passing. Using an aggressive team's aggression against them always as a means for slowing them down, draws, screens, misdirection plays usually gets it done. And you know this Cowboys defense is going to come in here hyped in the Linc and trying to knock off not only the division champs, but the conference champs as well. On the defensive side of the ball, two things concern me. Will we have an answer for CeeDee Lamb? Moving him all over the place. They will put him in a slot. They'll put him on the backside of a 3-by-1 formation. And they'll try to hide him in a bunch set as well. The side and this secondary have to have an answer for him on every formational scenario. The Cowboys are not what they used to be as far as the run game is concerned. The last few weeks, Dak has executed more on call quarterback runs, and he is back to scrambling more when pass plays break down. The Eagles' pass rush will need to be much more disciplined in their rush lanes and how they keep him contained in the pocket. The middle of the field, of course, is a continuing concern for the Birds. The linebackers and box safeties will have to communicate better on crossing routes. Dallas likes the short to intermediate routes. The key for the Birds' defense is to dominate the line of scrimmage and shut down the run game early and force Dak to pass the ball 40-plus times in this game. That plays into the hands of our pass rush. Special teams-wise, this isn't a time for regression. I don't know if Kevin Turpin is actually healthy or not, but he's extremely dangerous as a returner in kickoffs and punts. All kickoffs need to be out of the end zone and punts need to be angled to the sideline or out of bounds. The Birds are the best team in the NFC and possibly the NFL, but they're going to have to go out and prove it by taking on and beating all challengers. First up, the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles seem to play up or down to their opponents. I believe they'll rise to the occasion in all three phases versus this hated rival. Simply put, if you can't get up for the Cowboys, you have no business being an Eagle. Eagles win 28-21. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. We'll post-view the Eagles' victory and look past the bye week to the big Kansas City rematch on Monday Night Football on November 20th. Have a good night, Philadelphia.